So pubs across the country could sue for compensation after Cheltenham landlord's victory over a brewery.
Yes, Ed Anderson, who runs the town's Railway Inn, claimed he was being shortchanged by Marston's because he couldn't get as many pints of beer from a cask of ale as the brewery claimed. Here's our Gloucestershire reporter, Steve Nibbs.
Up until recently, Ed Anderson was tied to Marston's that own his pub. It meant he had to buy all of his drinks direct from them, and his rent was worked out based on the number of pints he could sell. But during a 3-year legal battle to get free of his tie, he argued that he'd been paying rent which didn't reflect the amount of sediment in the barrels of cask beer that he was buying.
Part of the process, the statutory body told Marston's to tell me exactly how much beer was in the barrel. And it was vastly different than what I'd been told before. It turns out, on average, it's only 68 pints in a cask, and we'd always been sold it as if there were 72 and rented as if there were 72 as well.
Ed calls this sediment issue his missing pints and believes it could have cost him around 40 to 50 pints a week. So he took his complaint to the pub regulator, who found in his favour. It was a financial risk, but one Ed was prepared to take.
A matter of principle first and foremost, I think, and it also got to the point where I was going to lose my business unless I went for a tie. We were losing money here, hand over foot, despite being busy, and the only way to stop that was to go for a tie. And I was backed into a corner. And then 3 years later, here I am with a nice busy pub now with lots of nice local beer, and things have changed remarkably.
Industry experts believe pubs could be losing around £20,000 a year because of this issue, and there's now talk of a class action from publicans across the country.
Thousands of pubs facing this same problem. It's not just this one company. They've all been rented in an identical manner. And this recovery of money for the existing publicans is something that needs to happen right now. Discussion needs to begin. But there is also further claims for former publicans and people that used to rent pubs who may have gone on to lose money or have to close.
Marston's couldn't provide anyone for interview today, but in a statement said nothing in his arbitration ruling concluded that Marston's had lied about sediment levels. The new guidance issued by the Pubs Code adjudicator in respect of beer waste has been adopted by the industry as a whole, and we were one of the leaders in its implementation. Meanwhile, Ed has renegotiated his rent with Marston's because he's now free of tie, and he's still considering further legal action to claim back money he says he's lost from paying for those missing pints. Steve Nibbs, BBC Points West, Cheltenham.
Well, Johnny Garrett writes about the pub industry, and he told me he thinks the ruling could have repercussions for thousands of landlords.
One of the people I spoke to, Chris White of the Pubs Advisory Service, he thinks it will be PPI for pubs. He's already talking to lawyers who are gearing up and finding publicans that have been affected by this. So if it's successful and if we get some more precedent cases going through, I think it could snowball.
Of course, nobody said in this instance that it was done deliberately. Nothing in the ruling suggests Marston's lied about sediment levels. But it sounds certainly like it's something that has been known about in the industry as a possibility.
It's something that's been accepted within the industry for decades, and has of course been accepted by the publicans who perhaps didn't know better or didn't know how to go about changing it. And I think that now that we've had that precedent from the PCA, now that the governing body has said that this is unacceptable, according to the Pubs Code, publicans will understand that this isn't right, and the pub companies need to respond by changing their rules to accept that the government now says this.
Obviously, you understand the pub industry, so for the rest of us, can you kind of put it into perspective what this means cumulatively for a pub?
That's the key word, cumulatively. So we worked out, based on pedigree, which is the biggest selling beer for Marston's, we worked out that there was around about 2.7 litres of unservable beer, known as ullage, in every cask, and that's what Marston's have told the government is within that. And that can equate to about £15 of profit on every single cask that these pubs sell. So that's £15 off their bottom line that's disappearing completely. So over the week, cumulatively, that could equate to, if you're serving around 10 casks a week, which a good pub would, a good busy pub would do, that could be about £150 on one line in every pub in every week. So over the year, that's going to be thousands and thousands of pounds for each pub.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for letting us know and filling us in. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you.
A few glasses raised to that.